If you've been living in confusion, waiting for clarity, and hoping for a conversation that never seems to come, I want to offer you a possibility. What if the decision you're waiting to hear has already been communicated through his behavior? What if he already decided? This isn't about blame. This isn't about giving up. This is about learning to see reality clearly. There are going to be 10 sections to this video, and I encourage you to watch it until the end because I'm going through a large Celtic cross spread that illuminates every potential area of this question to give you maximum clarity on where you stand with him. The 10 sections of this Celtic cross reading are going to include the core issue, the main challenge, the overlying obvious issues, the underlying invisible issues, the past as you see it and potentially as he sees it, the next 3 months in the future as this plays out, the obvious advice right now, the surrounding issues and hopes and fears, and lastly, the outcome as this plays out. This is the Celtic cross spread. There are 10 cards. They go in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I believe in structure, in readings, and then you can go down rabbit trails. Let's start with card 1, which is section 1. Section 1, the core issue. This is the 10 of Wands reversed. The 10 of Wands reversed is the opposite meaning of the 10 of Wands direct, which, when direct, is about taking on full responsibility. All right, this guy is performing actions here, and he's performing those actions because he thinks that he needs to do it. When this is reversed, it's about not performing actions. And this is the core issue, not performing actions because you don't think you need to do it. What is it that you don't think you need to do? The pain here isn't uncertainty. The pain is sensing an answer you don't want to fully accept yet. All right? So, you might have an inkling in your gut. You may not want to accept it. You may not even want to look, taking the action. Most people think they're waiting for information, and in this case, you're looking for confirmation because your intuition has already noticed the pattern. The key truth for you to consider here is that your confusion may not be coming from a lack of information. It may be coming from conflict between what you've seen and what you still hope will happen. And if this is the core issue, then what makes it so darn difficult? Well, that leads us to section 2. Section 2, the main challenge. This is the reversed 10 of Swords, which, like before, is the opposite of the direct. So, what is the 10 of Swords? It is the maximum pain. No one likes to hear that. This is one of the heaviest cards in the whole tarot because it's so dark and because of the sharpness and the precision and the straight up pain this guy is going through. I even relate it to acupuncture, which is one of the more redeeming factors of this card. There's relief from tension and relief through pain, all right? But the pain has to be felt, and this is the worse the pain gets. Also notice that the sky is yellow. It's warm back there, all right? And there is a distance, there's even perspective to be gained. And this fellow, even though he's lying flat, and he is finally settled, and even though he's pinned down, in order to get this settled nature, this stillness, he still is able to look towards the horizon and see this perspective, okay? So this is not an entirely negative card. Now, when we reverse this, it goes along with the challenge of how you don't want to feel this pain, all right? So the challenge here is that behavior and hope are saying different things. His actions create one message, and hope creates another. You get the hope here, you don't feel the pain, it feels like relief, and then when he draws away, you get the pain again. So your nervous system, very much so, gets trapped between these two phenomena in his cycle. of pulling away, of inconsistency in wanting to converse with you and avoiding commitment and reduced effort. So what's the key truth here? The challenge isn't that you can't see what's happening, because you can. It's just about taking responsibility. Taking responsibility. It's not that you can't see what's happening, it's that the two realities are competing inside you. So the challenge isn't that you can't see what's happening, it's that two realities are competing inside you. Section 3. The obvious underlying issue. This is the Knight of Cups. This is the fellow who comes and shows interest. This is not commitment. This is a fellow showing interest. And if you notice, his hair's done pretty well. I know it's technically not hair, but I like to think of it as gelled. And so he's showing his best. He has great posture. His horse is showing the pizzazz. So he's showing his best face forward. All right. But that's only half his face. Do you notice that? So the obvious issue, the obvious overlying issue here is his inconsistency. His mixed signals, delayed responses, the emotional distance, his commitment avoidance. This is all showing half of his face. So why won't he go into this? He won't go into this because he doesn't want to show the other half of his face. What you would end up asking yourself in this is, why is he doing this? What changed? Does he still care? Yes, he cares. But what's more important to notice in this right now is that he is not thinking about you. This is completely selfish. All right? The overlying issue here is that he's completely selfish. And he is not showing the other side of his face. All right? So the key truth I want to point out here is that most people spend all their energy trying to understand the inconsistency instead of understanding what the inconsistency is communicating. And as I've said, when you're spending your energy trying to understand the inconsistency, instead of understanding what that inconsistency is communicating, all you have to take from this is that he's just being selfish. It's not malicious, he's just being selfish. And this concludes section 3. Section 4, the underlying invisible issue. So this is the Ace of Cups reversed. Womp womp. This is an underlying invisible issue. The Ace of Cups direct is all about supernatural and spiritual connection and fulfillment and joy. And you might have guessed it, when it's reversed, the cups dumped out, quite literally. All right? And there is a lack of internal drive to make this relationship something that you both believe in, all right? Essentially, there is, in this dynamic that we are discussing, a lack of belief in the relationship. The deeper issue here is a loss of self-trust, because he's constantly analyzing you while he's being selfish, and then you're looking outside yourself for answers. You're ignoring your own observations, and then what begins happening? You stop asking, what am I seeing? And you start asking, how can I explain this away? The key truth I want to leave you with for this underlying invisible issue is the hidden cost of uncertainty is that it slowly teaches you not to trust yourself. You have to trust yourself. You must trust your gut. All right? You must take up this responsibility. And you must be willing to express the pain that comes from it. Section 5. The past as seen by you, the querent. This is the 5 of Wands. Direct, which means we take it quite literally. A lot of bickering and fighting. Does that surprise you? This is really about me trying to help you feel understood, and I'm going to draw some clarifying cards from here, just so we're all on the same page. So I think at first you probably had excitement in your relationship, and you were enthusiastic about possibility and emotional connection, and then when hope grew, the future became imagined, right? And then your investment deepened, all right? Now, with the behavior changes and the inconsistency beginning, that's where anxiety appeared. The important part here is that you're not foolish. And I want to encourage you that love is never a waste of time. Love is always worth it. It's always worth it. So you did not do anything wrong. You were responding to real emotional experiences, all right? Now, that said, you felt like there was some stability and there wasn't any sudden upheaval in the relationship. And that is, we're going to get to the hopes and fears, but this is coming up as a concern in the past. You just don't want to rock the boat and mess things up. So you've been stuck in not wanting to cause issue. And so this bickering and fighting, it's very level. Do you see that? Everyone's the same height. And so this has been kind of constant. It's like a simmer. You weren't wrong for believing in what felt possible. That's what I want to leave you with in section 5. You were not wrong for believing in what felt possible. Section 6, the next 3 months. This is the 4 of Cups. So this is all about friendship here, the next 3 months, which is actually very heartening. Do you see that? It's actually positive. A lot of people read this card different ways. In this case, I just see boy and girl, all right? And some of the best relationships come out of friendship. Some of the best reconciliation comes out of reuniting friendship. So this is positive for the next 3 months as an energy. But I want to draw your attention to 2 paths. Path 1 is that you continue interpreting as you have been, not taking responsibility. But you continue interpreting, continue waiting, continue hoping his behavior changes. And the result is more of that emotional exhaustion. Okay. That's option 1. I would say that that probably goes to him just being selfish. More selfish. And quite frankly, this is the third party card. I'm not saying that this is happening at this moment. I'm just saying as this plays out, a logical step for him being selfish is to start looking elsewhere. All right. So it doesn't necessarily mean that this is something that every choice has consequences. I'll put it that way. That's path 1. Or you can do path 2. For the next 3 months, you can accept what the behavior currently communicates. You can observe reality, and you can make decisions from clarity. The result, peace begins returning. Let's see what we got in here. Peace begins returning. We got the Knight of Swords here, coupled with the World in reverse. So peace may begin to return over the next weeks and months if you confront these things and try and work through them. I see a lot of thinking, and I see a lot of speed with the thinking, and I don't see that you're just going to immediately get everything you want, okay? So I think appropriate expectations here for the next 3 months are that this might take some time, all right? But let's keep going, because there's a whole lot more in this, and we're going to skip now to section 7. Section 7, the obvious advice right now. So, what is this? This is the 2 of Wands. What does the 2 of Wands signify when it is direct? It signifies a new journey, a new direction. This is very positive, and it makes sense in this context that the advice would be to choose a new direction. We're not imagining future outcomes, all right, when we take this new path forward. What are we doing instead? We're asking, what is being consistently demonstrated? What is being repeatedly avoided? What is actually happening? The key truth here to remember is that you do not need to force clarity. You need to stop arguing with what clarity is already showing you. This concludes section 7. Let's get on to section 8. Section 8, the surrounding circumstances to consider. This is the Ten of Cups reversed. What is the Ten of Cups? Ten of Cups, direct, and traditionally is family. It is also a family. If you see them, they're facing away. They're closed off. And so what they don't show is what's going on inside the family, but what is portrayed outside the family is happiness and wholeness and vibrancy, okay? And so when this is reversed, the opposite is true, which makes sense in this position because this is all about the surrounding circumstances. What is visible? Unhappiness. All right? Do you have people telling you, like, you're just unhappy in this? They all want to tell you what to do. They all want to tell you how to make your life better. Life stress needs to be considered. Emotional wounds need to be considered. Your own fear of commitment, your own personal struggles, all right? Again, with this suggestion to go on a new path and observe things for yourself and trust your gut, you don't need all of these distractions here. You do not need all of those distractions. So, you can understand someone deeply, even this man that you're with, and you can work it out like we've discussed, all right, with the next 3 months and with the advice card there. But understanding the context doesn't erase the impact of the stress, the emotional wounds, the fear of commitment, the personal struggles, and you can understand someone deeply and still recognize that they are unable to meet your needs. You can understand someone deeply and still realize that this is not happening and they're unable to meet your needs. The key truth I want to leave you with here for Section 8 is that compassion does not require abandoning reality. Compassion does not require you to abandon reality. Section 9, the King of Cups in reverse. King of Cups is a guy who is emotionally collected and mature and in control of his emotions, and he also is aware of the fact that he has feelings and they need to be addressed, and he knows how to communicate the fact that I'm angry and this is why, and he actually takes the time to understand himself and to address his own issues. All right, this is reversed, my dear. This fellow is not doing those things. So you may have the hope here with this fellow who's not doing these things that maybe he'll choose me. And then you also have the fear of maybe he won't. Bringing back this challenge here, if you take responsibility for these hopes and fears that you go between, you can finally get through this so that you're not living in denial. Think about this and address the fact that maybe he'll choose you, and also the deeper fear maybe he won't. What if I lose the future I imagined? What can you imagine with this fellow is really the question here for you to consider. Losing a possibility is not the same as losing your future. So imagine your future with yourself in it, not with him in it. Imagine your future with yourself in it, and see if he can find a place in that future that you imagine for yourself. This is a big deal. Do not undervalue how important it is to spend time with your fear of what if I lose him, and also my best future. Let's try and imagine it, and can I see him being in it? That is invaluable information for you to have about yourself. Let's move on to Section 10. Section 10, the outcome of moving through this. This is the Star card, guys, and it's direct. It is a gorgeous ending to this reading because the Star card direct is all about healing. Healing is the fact that your heart actually feels deep, deep pain and fear and insecurity, and you realize on the other side of it that you're okay. And you actually become grateful for the past. You feel actual joy in your heart for the past. Your nervous system will calm down, your standards increase as you've imagined your best life for yourself and whether or not he can fit into it. Your self-trust comes back. And you're like, yeah, I'm so glad I stuck with my decision in not ignoring myself anymore. The goal of section 10 is to close out this entire reading. And if it resonated, let me know. Let me know what jumped out to you the most. Maybe you need some time to think about it. But the goal of the conversation was never to convince you that he already decided. That just gets your attention. Because it's true. The goal was to help you see what you've already been noticing. If you made it to the end of this video, welcome back. If you're taking your gut seriously and are taking note of what you've noticed, I support you and I'm proud of you. I also trust you, and I trust your ability to see clearly. I want you to know that. I trust your ability to choose what brings you peace. And I trust that the version of love meant for you will never require you to abandon yourself and your own life to keep it. If you're seeking deeper clarity on where this connection is going and what this chapter may require of you, that's where personalized guidance comes in. Click the link under my bio to get more guidance. Also, check out my TikTok and Instagram if you like. Thanks for watching.